Good news from Growth Management on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, January 25th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. Ridgewood Park in the Tree Streets neighborhood of Hyannis will be getting some TLC thanks to a $200,000 grant from the Gateway Cities program. Barnstable's also gotten some good news from the Cultural Council in the form of a Commonwealth Award. On Tuesday, I welcomed Director of Growth Management Joanne Miller-Bontich to Barnstable this morning to talk about these two bits of good news. I share that interview with you here on Barnstable Today.
Ridgewood Park came to our attention probably about three and a half years ago, as we were really starting to look into the neighborhoods surrounding the downtown Hyannis area. And Ridgewood Park was a traditional park. It was laid out with the subdivision of the area we call the Tree Streets, because the streets are named Chestnut, Maple, Linden, and things of that nature. And so we reached out to the neighborhood. We had a meeting, and we asked them what they would like to see with some park improvements. The whole time our idea was that we would have to get grant funding to fund these upgrades. We also touched base with the Recreation Commission, who actually has care and custody of the park, and they were fine with this work. So we developed a plan with the neighborhood, very simple plan. They didn't want anything fancy. They wanted very simple, easy to maintain items in the park, and we had a design that was good enough to give us a budget, and from the budget we went on to pursue grant funding. The grant funding that we were pursuing at the time, it's called the Park Grant, the old Urban Self-Help Grant. It's called Parkland, and I'm going to forget the name of it. What Parks is an acronym for something. And so we went to the council and asked for an appropriation as a match, and they granted us that. And it was then that we became aware of the Gateway Cities Parks program. The Gateway Cities office at the Commonwealth reached out to us, and we sent in two parks for consideration, Ridgewood Park and the Pleasant Street Pier Park, which is down at the end of Pleasant Street on the town-owned property there. And they chose to fund Ridgewood Park, so we're very excited. We'll be going back to the neighborhood and back to the Recreation Commission and refining the design and creating a budget and issuing a call for work.
Wonderful. And I know, Joanne, that you and the staff have really been working closely with the neighbors and the property owners in Ridgewood Park to kind of find out what they want that park to be. Can you talk to me a little bit about the feedback you've received from some of the neighbors in that area?
Yes, what we found was, even though the park, when you drive by, it doesn't look as if it's well used. We found that the neighborhoods are very attached to the park and do use it quite a bit. And their input was that they wanted it freshened up. They wanted it. A lot of the items that were there, very simple items. There's just a swing there now. There is a poured basketball court, or what used to be a basketball court. They'd like that taken up. They just really are looking for grass, things that can be easily maintained, things that, of course, one of the things that you always look for in a park in an urban setting are a very open landscape. You don't want anything dense and places where things can be secreted. And so the other thing they're looking for is maybe some annual flower beds, very, very simple walking paths going through. They'd also like, there's a street. It's sort of a grid of a park, and there's Maple Street, I believe, goes through the middle, and they'd like that lifted up and the park unified into one. So we'll be looking into all of those things and involving the neighborhood once again as we finalize the details.
Right. So it really seems like they want just a simple green space to maybe go have lunch or take the kids to play and just kind of relax and enjoy that outdoor space.
Yep, take the grandkids, maybe ride the bike through the park, something like that. And it's just the perfect, it's really lovely, and it's the one artifact actually in Hyannis of a park that was actually designed for the neighborhood. So it's really lovely, and from that perspective, my staff and I really appreciate it and want to make sure that it retains its use as a park, and now we want to heighten its function as well.
Wonderful. In terms of timeline, when you're expecting to kind of begin work on this, what are you looking at?
Well, we have a little work to do. I know that the manager's office would like us to be able to begin construction as soon as possible. So actually the Gateway Parks money will become available to us July 1st. So hopefully it will be something that we can complete during the warm weather this year.
Excellent. And Joanna, one other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the Commonwealth Award. And this is something that's given out every couple of years, and really great honor for the town of Barnstable to receive this Commonwealth Award. Talk to me a little bit about what we've received it for.
Well, we're so thrilled to be selected as a recipient for the creative community and the Commonwealth Award. And what I personally really like about this recognition is that we're going to be able to recognize the long history of people who worked to develop, to begin to develop the arts and culture program that we have today, and the early recognition that this was a way not only of providing an attraction for residents and visitors, but of enriching the community and enriching downtown Hyannis, so that people would enjoy it more as a place to live and work and play. And so there's a long history that goes into that. And, we have, in the past 4 years, been really blessed with the management of the program with Melissa Chartrand, who's our Arts and Culture Coordinator, who's now used to be grant funded. This is sort of the growing steps and is now funded through the general fund as part of our economic development program. And, the day-to-day care and creativity that Melissa puts into that really just makes it sparkle and shine. And her relationships, quite frankly, with the community and with Mass Cultural Council, I'm sure gave us a leg up in getting this award.
Absolutely. Well, just seeing what's going on here in Barnstable, or even in downtown Hyannis in the summertime, and again with the creation of the cultural district, or the designation of the cultural district, and all that goes down at the harbor, the concerts, the shanties, and the new Kennedy Legacy Trail, certainly seeing those really wonderful improvements and examples of just how much arts and culture plays a role here in the town of Barnstable.
Yes.
So I understand that we'll be given out in a ceremony up in Boston in a couple of weeks, so that's very exciting. Really overall, what does this mean for the town of Barnstable to receive this award?
Well, it's interesting. The town programs related to downtown Hyannis have received a number of awards. One is a national award, the EPA Smart Growth Communities Award. And so it's sort of like a resume, Sarah. I mean, when we want to do a project and want to attract attention to the project, when we want to apply for perhaps some higher level grant funding, things like that, we're able to list this as, as a recognition that we've received in terms of that. And so that's the sort of the business aspect of it. But on the other hand, I think it gives the folks who've worked so hard on this over the years, my staff and the town manager's staff, just the affirmation that they're doing the right thing and moving in the right direction, and that all their hard work is paid off. Also, our partners, the Cape Cod Art Association, the downtown merchants, and things of that nature. That affirmation that just keeps people going, gives them a boost, and helps us all to move on to the next step.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations to you, Joanne, and certainly the staff and Melissa, who's sitting right here next to me. We thank everybody, and Joanne, I thank you, of course, for joining us here today on Barnstable. Be sure to tune in to Barnstable This Morning each and every weekday morning starting at 7 a.m. here on Channel 18. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.